Many pastors stay trapped in this. I just need more volunteers. I just need more volunteers. I mean, the real bottleneck is usually capacity, leadership capacity. And so here's what I want to ask you. If God doubled your ministry reach next year, would your leadership pipeline be ready? We all want to keep going toward developing leaders who develop leaders. It is the challenge. It is the task that Paul handed to Timothy. He's like, this is what you'll do. This is the goal. This is winning. This is ministry success, right? All of these are important, but they're not all the goal. Anyone who feels like they're just popping out capital L leaders left and right, just magically, like just a factory, is only borrowing on somebody else's deep work. It's like if you look at a basketball game and you get that assist that then turns into the score. If you only credit the person, who made the basket, it's like, dude, come on. There was a coach, there was a scout, there was a high school basketball coach, right? There was a parent, there was practices, there were teammates, there were drills. It's like, come on, there are fans, there's family supporting this. Like, there's so much that goes into this. And if all we do is go, look, oh, somebody's got a slam dunk. Well, yeah, but look at everybody else who is a part of this. Leadership development is a slow process, and it's a team sport. And I think we all have to be honest about what it's going to take to not only keep going the distance ourselves, but to create an ecosystem where that can happen. I do believe this is the time to get that ready, because I think there's a revival that's already in motion. And I think that God is looking around. He even says it in 2 Chronicles 16:9, right? The eyes of the Lord move to and fro throughout the whole earth, looking for somebody whose heart is perfect toward him. He's like looking for the ready. And I think if we'll make ourselves ready, he will make us useful. And so just going like, God, whatever it takes, like a soldier, like a farmer, like an athlete, I will be ready. I think if we will do that, God will use us up, which is the ultimate thrill, I think, in the world, is to be a vessel for the holy God to work his eternal work through. So it's very exciting to me to think about where we could be as each one of us goes, I'm going to go to work on this multiplication aspect of my leadership. Helper is kind of the place to start. It's where everybody should start. Is that we're saying, I'll help. That's what we're saying. Is helper will say, I'll help. That's what the helper will say. And we all need those people. Aren't you grateful for people in your life? They're like, I'll help. And you're like, oh, thank God. I mean, we've got so many of those people in our family and in our ministry that it's like, we could not function without these people. I'm so grateful for them. A contributor is somebody who says, I can do this. In other words, they're going like, it's not me putting the responsibility on you to make a contribution. It's me going, I'm going to make a contribution. So there's a little more ownership, right? In that, a little more risk, because they're probably taking on some responsibility for the outcome. But still, it's still not their whole deal. That's the next place where it's the owner. So it goes helper, owner, or helper, contributor, owner. The owner says, I'll make sure this succeeds. I will make sure this succeeds. And that, oh my goodness, if you find one of those people, you light up, right? You're like, this is like in our staff meeting at Westside, when we come to our staff meeting, a lot of times we're going like, oh my gosh, somebody told me I'll make sure this succeeds. And we just about fall out of our chairs and we're like, this is too good to be true. Like, oh my gosh, how could this be that God has blessed me so much? There's somebody in my life who says, I'll make sure this succeeds, especially if it's something that you're like, I hate doing that thing. I don't like that part, And most of the time, it's not because you're a bad person. It's because your wiring, your gifting is not suited to that part of the body of Christ, the responsibility. But we all end up having to do those things from time to time. And I think the test of a leader is, are they first a servant that's willing to do anything? Mm-hmm. Are they first a servant that's willing to do anything? And if you find a servant that's willing to do anything that can help helpers become contributors and then owners, I mean, then you're like, oh wow, now we're cooking, because that'd be a leader. And a leader says, I'll build the team. A leader is going like, oh, I can do this. I can run this process. I can go helper, contributor, owner, leader. I can help people do that. The end goal is multiplier, who says, I'll develop multiplying leaders. And so I just wanted to put that framework back out in front of all of us, because that's really what multiplying ministry requires, and it's why we're doing next level pastor coaching, is because what we're trying to do is become people who are multiplying leaders, multiplying leaders. Pick a person, name their current role, and then think about their current level of leadership in the sense that we just defined. Do they say, I'll help? Do they say, I'll get this done? Do they say, I'll take total ownership of success? Do they say, I'll develop, these people, I'll build the team? Or do they say, I'm going to develop multiplying leaders? And if wherever they're at, then what's the potential next step? And then what's the development conversation? And then what's their next opportunity to lead?